My hands trembled as I gripped the steering wheel. Parked outside Blackwell and Associates in downtown Chicago. The divorce papers and USB drive mocking me from the passenger seat. 3 years of what I thought was wedded bliss with Michael. Shattered in an instant. Just days ago, I was sketching layouts for the Lakeside Tower project. My career's crown jewel. Now, it was all unraveling like a bad dream I couldn't wake from. It began with that damned voice memo. Meant for someone else, but landing in my inbox like a grenade. I was in my home office that Tuesday morning. Sunlight filtering through the blinds. Coffee steaming beside my tablet as I refined the tower's atrium designs. My phone pinged, a WhatsApp from Michael. I smiled. Expecting his usual, good morning. Love routine. But when I hit play, his voice sliced through the air. Cold and unfamiliar. Mom, I can't keep up this charade much longer. Playing the devoted husband is draining me dry. My breath caught. This wasn't for me. He'd fat-fingered the contact. But the words kept coming. Each one a dagger. Emily has no clue what's hitting her. In 2 weeks, I'll file for divorce right after I lock in the Lakeside contract under my name. She's been so naive. Handing over all her client files. I've already funneled 2 of her top accounts into my deals. The phone slipped from my hand, clattering to the floor. This couldn't be Michael, the man who'd promised forever. Who'd talked about starting a family in that cozy suburb we'd-eyed. But his voice droned on, laced with venom I'd never heard. Sophia's getting antsy too. She wants me out now, but I told her to hold off. Once I swipe this tower gig and pass it off as mine, I'll have the cash and cred to rebuild. Emily'll be left scraping by, just like she deserves for roping me into this mess. Sophia. The name hit like a freight train. Sophia Grant. The high-rolling investor bankrolling Michael's latest ventures. The one who'd lingered too long at our business dinners. Her laughs too flirtatious. Her touches too bold. The memo wasn't done twisting the knife. You were spot on, Mom. Marrying down was my biggest screw-up. Emily's just a Midwest kid with pipe dreams. She thinks her design firm is hot stuff. It's laughable how she laps up my fake encouragement. Little does she know I've been ripping off her blueprints and flipping them to rivals. My vision blurred. Chest heaving. 3 years of trust. Of feeling seen and valued. All smoke and mirrors. The cherry on top? She trusts me blindly. Gave me full access to her accounts. Contacts. The works. She even listed me as co-lead on Lakeside. When I dump her, I'll say she was just my sidekick. Who'd take her word over a Reynolds? I heard his mother's cackle in the background, that same icy chuckle from family brunches where she'd whisper barbs about my humble roots when she thought I was out of earshot. Don't sweat it, Michael. Once you're rid of that girl, you can tie the knot with Sophia right. Someone worthy of our name. And with the dough from Emily's pilfered projects, we can bail out my boutique from the red. The memo cut off with Michael vowing more details later. I stared at my screen. The Lakeside renders glowing mockingly. Months of late nights. My big break, and he was plotting to yank it away. Another buzz. A text from Michael. Oops. Babe. Wrong send. Ignore that memo. Love ya. Love. The word tasted like ash. I glanced around the office he'd helped set up, the ergonomic chair he'd gifted, the framed first contract he'd hung with feigned pride. All part of the long con. He'd been dissecting me, probing for vulnerabilities, orchestrating my downfall. But Michael had slipped up big time. He forgot who he was dealing with. I backed up the memo to my cloud. External drive. Even emailed it to a burner account. Then I fired up my laptop. Hunting for divorce attorneys, fraud experts, and cyber forensics pros. If he wanted war, This Midwest kid would show him what quiet rage could unleash. 6 months back, I'd felt like the luckiest woman in Chicago. Or so I believed. It was a chilly February dawn when Michael surprised me with breakfast in bed, blueberry waffles, fresh squeezed OJ. The works. He perched on the mattress, eyes twinkling as he watched me dig in. Big news, he said, grin widening. The Harlan bid came through. We're landing that office remodel. I nearly spat out my juice. We? Michael. That's my pitch. I've been grinding on those specs for weeks. He chuckled, brushing my hair back. Of course. Han. I met you nailed it. I just greased the wheels with my connections. Team effort. Right? Team. He tossed that word around like confetti. When he volunteered to manage my emails so I could focus on the creative magic. When he pushed to add his name to my business checking for smooth transactions. When he insisted on shared drives for backup security. I'd been so damn grateful for a partner who championed my hustle. My own dad had dismissed design as a frivolous hobby. But Michael? He urged me to aim high. Chase the stars. Speaking of teams, he added, scrolling his phone. Mom wants us over for dinner. She's got thoughts on that house hunt. My gut twisted. Victoria Reynolds had never warmed to me. Her disdain barely veiled. At our engagement party, she joked about Michael reconsidering someone more aligned with the family empire. At holidays, she'd introduce me as Michael's cute little designer wife. But he'd always shut it down, or so I thought. Don't fret about Mom, he said, reading my face. She's just old school protective. Once she sees your firm booming, she'll thaw. That night, we dined in the Reynolds' sprawling Gold Coast mansion. Crystal gleaming under chandeliers. Portraits of stern ancestors judging from the walls. Victoria dished out her signature lobster bisque while nitpicking our house plans. Michael. Dear. That neighborhood? It's so ordinary. What will our circle think? Mom. Emily adores it. Close to her studio. Top schools for future kids. Victoria's spoon clanged. Kids? You're still climbing the ladder. And Emily's side gig isn't exactly rock solid for family life. It's not a gig. Mrs. Reynolds, I interjected softly. I've got 15 steady clients. And Harlan just signed on. She dismissed me with a wave. Deals evaporate. Darling. Real estate's different, legacy wealth. Like Michael's building. Michael stayed silent. Just patting my knee under the table and pivoting topics. Later. Slipping to the powder room. I overheard them in the kitchen. She's charming. Michael. But long-term? Sophia Grant's been inquiring about you again. Mom. I'm hitched. I love Emily. Love's fleeting. Son. Legacy endures. Just mull it over. Back in the car. Silence hung heavy. Your mom's not my fan, I ventured. He squeezed my hand. She'll come around. Old money vibes. But I picked you. That's what counts. I clung to that. Over the following months, Michael dove deeper into my world. Joined client calls. Citing his realty savvy for leverage. Took over contracts and billing to free my muse. You're the visionary, he'd say. Let me crunch the numbers. My pals envied it. Lucky you, my bestie Sarah gushed. Most guys can't name your job title. Michael knew it all, deadlines. Passwords. Client quirks. So attentive. So invested. I never questioned his need for total access. Never spotted how he nudged chats toward his listings. Blind love, they call it. Turns out, he was mapping my empire to raise it. The day after that memo, Victoria's shadow loomed large. So, I did the unthinkable, snooped his phone while he showered. What I unearthed churned my stomach, texts with her spanning 2 years. A roadmap of betrayal. The oldest, Michael. Emily's anchoring you. You could helm the family firm by now. Mom. She's my wife. Can't bail. Not bail, plan ahead. Her roots? They'll drag in elite circles. Maybe. But what now? Keep doors open. Son. Don't get too entangled. I scrolled. Fury building as Victoria chipped away. Articles on power couples. Gossip on mismatched marriages. But the cataloging? Vicious. Emily recycled that off-the-rack dress at the gala. Eyes notice. Michael. Heard her folks still cram in that walk-up. In-laws like that. Emily botched hors d'oeuvres at brunch. Sophia'd nail it. Every flaw. Every common trait weaponized. Then, 6 months prior. Around his deeper dive into my firm. If divorce looms, safeguard your wallet. Get value from this union. What do you mean? Her design hustle's thriving. Poach clients post-split. Compensation for lost time. That feels dirty. Mom. Dirtier staying shackled below your station. If she loved you, she'd want your assent. I paused. File rising. The manipulation, masterclass cruel. She'd convinced him I was the albatross. That he deserved better. But it escalated. Introduced you to Sophia at the benefit. Sparks flew. She's polished. Pedigreed, Emily's opposite. Mom. Married here. Paperwork. Son. Find a true equal who lifts. Not leeches. Texts detailed staged chance encounters, business lunches, galas with assigned seats. Exhibits for private chats. Michael's tone shifted. Sophia's sharp on market trends. Yeah. Mom. Emily doesn't mesh in our world. Maybe I rushed in. Youthful folly thinking love sufficed. Then the affair logs. Sophia's coastal getaway this weekend. Join her, I insist. But Emily? Call it work travel. Investing in tomorrow. Guilt's gnawing. Guilt's change phobia. You merit joy. Not this facade. Final threads. 2 weeks old. Blueprinting my ruin. With Lakeside under you. Reboot with Sophia's dad investing. Emily's other gigs? Siphon M. She shared access. It's not theft if you co-built. And divorce. Swift. Backed by success and grants. She'll fold. I slumped on the tile. Piecing the puzzle. Victoria had engineered it all. Drip by drip. Till Michael bought the poison. But her error? Logging every step. She'd gifted me the ammo for retribution. The next day, I turned detective on my own life. Uncovering how deep the sabotage ran. Starting with my business inbox, Michael's help domain for months. Fresh eyes revealed horrors. Unread threads from key clients, Harlan Corp. Riverfront builds. Bayview Estates, flagging my lapses in meetings and timelines. But I'd never flubbed a single one. Calendars triple-checked. Then, responses from my address, not my words. Apologies for personal turmoil, steering them to my partner. Michael Reynolds. With proven realty chops. He'd been tanking my rep while poaching. Deeper digs, forwarded confidences to his email. My blueprints. Pricing models. Client intel, all siphoned. Worst, sent folder horrors. My offers to competitors. Hawking exclusives. He'd framed me as a sellout. I dialed Harlan cold. Emily Hayes from Hayes Designs. Touching base on timelines. Awkward silence. Emily. We assumed you knew. We shifted to Michael's outfit. He cited your family strains. Said he'd ensure seamless service. Family strains? Yes. Professional as ever. Prioritizing us. Riverfront echoed, overwhelmed. He'd said. Him is fix. Bayview? Frosty. After the grant fiasco? We figured you'd ghosted. What fiasco? Your designs sold to our rival last month. Sophia Grant's firm got our exclusives. Restart from scratch. Sophia. Must be error. No. Emails prove you shopped M. BBB complaint filed. I scoured my systems, Bayview files vanished. But on Michael's rig? Tweaked. Rebranded under Grant Lux. Not just theft, sabotage. Framing. Funneling to his mistress. I had to eyeball Sophia. Drove to her sleek loop tower. Grant Lux etched in gold. From the opposite cafe. I watched her stride out poised. In couture that screamed old money. Aura untouchable. Michael's SUV in the garage. Midweek afternoon, he'd claimed open houses. Tailed to a ritzy bistro. Corner booth. Hands entwined. Giggles carefree. Sophia sported a sapphire necklace new. Michael's gaze, the one he'd once saved for me, snapped pics from afar, then edged closer. Eavesdropping. Lakeside's ceiling soon, he murmured. Once Emily inks finals next week. It's ours to launch the venture. She suspects zilch? Sophia cooed. Tracing his palm. 0. Thinks I'm her cheerleader. Pathetically trusting. Her old blueprints? Ported to you. Post-realization. We'll be wed. Jetting to Aspen. Can't wait to be Mrs. Reynolds. But rebrand her firm's name's so quaint. They blueprint my obliteration over wine. Smug as sin. But their hubris? Blind to my counterstrike. That'd be their undoing. That night, in my office amid the ruins of our shared facade, I skipped tears or showdowns. Instead, I mapped vengeance. New folder, Operation Reclaim. Stockpiled, message screens. Affair shots. Forged email copies. Shady transfers. But I needed an ally. Only one fit, Jordan Hayes, no. Wait. David Lawson. My silent partner for years. Unknown to Michael. He'd seeded my startup with 25% equity. A veteran architect specializing in high-rises. Always championed me. Always wary of Michael. Something off about him, he'd warned. Grins too wide. Probes too deep on your ops. I'd brushed it off then. Now, clarity. Called him at midnight, his prime brainstorming hour. Emily? You sound wrecked. Need you here. Business emergency. He arrived in 15. Face hardening as the memo played. Confusion to fury to lethal calm. That snake, he growled. Should have pushed my gut harder. You tried. I was love blind. He leaned in. Eyes fierce. What's the play? If it's torching him. Count me in. We strategized till dawn. Precision like a heist. First, lock down assets. David confessed safeguards, auto backups to his vaults. IP clauses in contracts shielding my creations. Been uneasy about his meddling, he admitted. Built firewalls quietly. Why silent? You were smitten. And I. He hesitated. Vulnerable. Didn't want jealousy vibes. Jealous. Since day one. But you were happy. Married. So, I protected from shadows. My heart stuttered. But focus first. Later for that. Plan. Transfer legit holdings to our new LLC, legal via partnership. Amass more proof. Shield clients with truth bombs. Lawyer up for fraud/IP suits. Nuke, blast to boards. Sophia's spouse. Press if needed. Bonus, David added. Sophia's husband. Victor Grant? My top client, overhauled their Hamptons pad. Clueless on the fling. His type. Tycoon. Loyal to a fault. Worships her. Truth will gut him. But fair's fair. And he's Michael's cash cow. As David left at sunrise, his hand lingered on mine. Personal aside. I'm your rock through this. You didn't earn their cruelty. I freshened up. Played normal as Michael descended. Pecked my cheek. Queried my day. Lakeside tweak, secued. Ready for your eyes next week. Perfect, oblivious to my barb. He departed for showings, likely Sophia. I executed phase 1, half assets shifted. Lawyer meets booked. He'd schemed 3 years. I'd implode his realm in 3 weeks. 2 weeks on. Pieces aligned. Michael clueless as he plotted my heist. Monday, he meetings all day with Sophia. No doubt. Sealing Lakeside grab. Me? Already convened Lakeside brass days prior. Mrs. Reynolds, the CEO, puzzled. Your husband's emails claim lead role. Presented originals. Timestamped sketches. Fraud dossier. Their legal eagles salivated. Terminating his ties pronto, they vowed. Pushing charges. While he romanced. I hit the Illinois Real Estate Commission with evidence binders. Investigators' jaw dropped at forgeries. Thefts. Grave misconduct. License on ice. Probe launching. Tuesday, Victor Grant. David set a renovation consult. Victor expected blueprints, found me with affair proofs. Fraud trails. Future schemes. How long, he whispered. Composure cracking. 8 months documented. Likely more. He pored over pics. Texts, trembling but steely. Your ask. Nothing. Truths, you're right. And Michael's ventures, my infusions? David, fraud-fueled. Using your funds for her betrayal. Victor Rose. Gratitude. Michael Reynolds? Career over. My word. Wednesday, media. Tipped a Crane's Chicago fraud beat reporter. Realty star swipes wife's empire. Dumps for investor's wife? Goldmine scam. Cheating. Dynasty drama. Publish when? Friday. Stall till then. Thursday, Victoria. Unearthed Michael's siphons from my accounts to her flailing art gallery. House fund diverted to her debts. Stormed her loop space mid-crowd. Thrust binder. This, she sneered. Facade cracking. Transfers proving theft to float yours. Plus conspiracy suit. She blanched. Flipping pages. Unprovable. Text seal it. Lawyers inbound. Left her reeling, gallery shuttered by dawn. Assets seized. Friday, Michael awoke to license revocation. Victor yanking millions. Crane's expose viral. Divorce packet on counter. But I? Absent. In our new Hayes Lawson HQ with David. Inking deals from Michael's defected clients. His calls flooded, ignored. War concluded. I'd claimed victory. 6 months later. I gazed from Hayes Lawson Design's corner office. Lakeside Tower gleaming in the distance, my award-winning triumph. Michael's empire? Dust. License stripped after probes unearthed chronic scams. Crane's piece went national. Blackballing him. Victor's suit bankrupted him. Sophia bolted post-divorce. Their fling fizzled sans funds. She's back with folks, he's slinging used cars in Peoria. Victoria's gallery? Padlocked. My suit drained her nest egg. She disowned Michael. Faulting him for tarnishing the name. Moved to a dingy condo. Silent treatment eternal. My rise? Sweet as sting. Firm's the city's hottest. Lakeside snagging accolades. Spawning statewide gigs. Staffed up to 15. Eyeing expansions. And love? Authentic now. David patient. Supportive, our bond evolved organically. He amplified my wins. Never eclipsed them. MS. Hayes, my PA rapped. Visitor. Personal. Michael in the threshold, gaunt. Rumpled suit ill-fitting. Charm evaporated. Emily. 5 minutes. I waved her out. He surveyed the empire. Impressive. You're doing. David and I. Honesty. Sweat. Respect. Heard the engagement. Congrats. I fingered my solitaire. Thanks. Silence. Here to apologize. Beg forgiveness. For? Affair. Larceny. Lies. Life wreck plan. He winced. Everything. Stupid. Avaricious. Let mom warp me. She didn't force your choices. Theft. Betrayal yours. I know. Miss you. Us. Leaned back. No us. Me all in. You scheming. Con. Not commitment. Did love you. Still. No. Loved my utility trust. Toil. Network. Cash. Not me. Defeated. He rose. Glad you're thriving. Earned it. Post-departure. I reflected. That memo? World shatterer turned lifesaver. Exposed him pre-total ruin. David texted, dinner? Miami bid update. Grinned. Replying, eager. Learned, true love builds. Doesn't burgle. Partnership elevates. Doesn't erode. Michael aimed to crush me, freed me instead. Ultimate payback.